Greetings! Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time I'm checking out a new sci-fi survival game called Dig or Die on the PlayStation. This game was developed by Gaddy Games, who also worked on the space city builder Plan B Terraform, and was published by my friends at Blitworks, who created several awesome indie games I previously reviewed, including Everhood Eternity Edition, Vagante, They Are Billions, and Heroes of Hammerwatch. Dig or Die is a survival game that takes inspiration from classics like Starbound and Terraria, challenging players to survive and explore a hostile alien planet full of unique alien plants and animals. The game was very well received on Steam, with players enjoying its unique approach to base defense and its more casual experience, compared to similar titles in the genre. As a huge fan of survival games like Terraria, I've been watching out for similar games, so I was eager to experience Dig or Die on the PlayStation. Dig or Die is set in the far future, with the player taking the role of an employee of the Craft & Co. company. Your mission to sell building tools goes terribly wrong when your ship crash lands on a hostile alien planet. Thankfully, your tools survive the crash, and you'll need to use them to construct weapons, items, and a base to protect you from the planet's hazards. The end goal of the campaign is to gather the resources needed to rebuild your ship and ultimately escape the planet. The game loop involves the player exploring the surface of the planet to gather materials during the day and building your base defenses during the night, in an effort to survive the waves of deadly aliens hunting you down. The planet has a number of different biomes to explore, each with their own enemies and dangers, along with unique materials needed to unlock new technology and weapons, like laser machine guns, jetpacks, and rocket launchers. But the game allows players to explore at their own pace, with a dynamic difficulty system where each new species of alien will only become hostile after you attack them, as well as 5 huge bosses to hunt down. This is a clever idea which allows players to tailor the difficulty of their survival experience. The best aspect of Dig or Die is in the base defense mechanics. The player will need to construct a base to survive the waves of aliens hunting you each night. However, Dig or Die takes a different approach to base building, where rather than a traditional approach of building walls and traps, players will need to construct an obstacle course full of kill zones and carefully placed turrets to cut down enemies from afar, along with supports to ensure that your constructions don't collapse due to the game's physics system. You'll also need to consider the elements when constructing your base, as the game's dynamic weather system can result in meteor showers, earthquakes, and storms that can tear holes in your base, or cause a deadly flood. With each passing day, the aliens will grow in number, adding a constant state of urgency to your escape attempt. While I love the game's unique approach to base defense and the dynamic difficulty, the game is lacking in some variety. There are only a few different types of enemies in the game, and the list of constructible items and weapons is very narrow, with only a few weapons and gadgets on offer. The game world is also very small when compared with other games of the same genre, especially when you get your hands on some of the late game gear such as the jetpack. Dig or Die is an enjoyable survival experience that distinguishes itself from similar games in the genre due to its unique approach to base defense, physics, and weather. In addition to the game's dynamic difficulty, there are also 5 difficulty presets to choose from, which cater to both new and experienced players. While Dig or Die doesn't match the scope of the titles it takes inspiration from, it's still a great choice for players looking for another entry in the genre. But I highly recommend the Steam version of the game over the PlayStation release. Unfortunately, the PlayStation version released without a cooperative mode, and there's no local cooperative mode planned for console in the future, meaning if you want to experience the game with your friends, you're going to have to play it on the PC, which was a very puzzling design decision by the developer, as the cooperative mode is one of the game's biggest selling features. I hope you enjoyed this review of Dig or Die, and if you did, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe, as it really helps the channel. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope you join me next time when we check out another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.